Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, quality's extra bad right now 'cause I didn't want to go through the time to like set up my face cam any better. So this is what you're getting. Today we're gonna be talking about all the different cloud types because cloud types they're cool, they're interesting, and I happen to know a fair bit about them. Um, Now I know about them from like this one YouTube video, which I'll link in the description probably. It's like a 10-minute video. It goes over every single type of cloud ever. And the only difference between this video and that video is that mine is less scripted and probably has more incorrect information. And that one is just like, yeah, it's just a good video, but it's not me. So, yeah. Um, but without any further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna stop the recording now. And then, dude, it's gonna be a cool little thing where like I cut it. It's gonna be a cool little thing where I use two different videos and I put them together. That's pretty rare. I don't do that often because that requires effort. Alright, this is being really finicky, but that's fine. So, first we gotta go over like just normal clouds. So we got three types. We got stratus, stratus, yes, and then we got cumulus, right? Um, Cumulus, and then we got cirrus. Those are like the three main type ones. But you know, there's a lot of different variations of these. Okay, because first of all, sometimes stratus and cumulus, there's like a cloud called a stratocumulus, which is a combination of the two. Um, in fact, it is one of the stratocumuluses that is the most like common type of cloud um, coverage. Pretty baller, low key. That's pretty cool. Stratocumuluses are, oh no, they're sick. They look pretty. Let me stratocumulus. So, okay, these are all really. These are just not. Oh my god, this isn't. These are wrong. These aren't right. Yeah, this is just a better photo. Shout out to iStock. So, Nimbostratus, there are more stratocumuluses than this. Like it's not just this right here. It's not just this undulatus cloud. It's a lot more than just that. Okay, but regardless, doesn't really matter. Let's go over the low level stuff. I'm gonna use this instead of MS Paint because that's just not really working. Let's open image in new tab. Oh yes, oh indubitably. So we got the cumulus, right? The cumulus is the big old fluffy cloud. I call them Hollywood clouds because every time, like I don't know, they just seem like they're also called fair weather clouds, and they're just chilling. They're big old fluffy guys. You'll see them, and they got the goofiest names because there's like three types of cumuluses. You got the cumulus humulus, cumulus mediocris, and then also I think cumulus humulus is cumulus humilis, but I just like saying cumulus humulus because it's funny. Um, and I forgot the last one. Wait, let me check my notes. Because I should have some notes on these, which I would post, but I don't think I'm going to, because I'll probably forget. Where is the other type of cumulus? It is a cumulus congentus. A cumulus congentus. And so what the like second word in there means is, at least for just cumuluses, is its height in relation to its width. So a cumulus mediocris means that its height and width are pretty much the same. And a cumulus congentus means that they're taller than they are wide. Their height's more. And then a cumulus humilis means that they're wider than they are tall. So this right here is a cumulus humilis. And so then we have stratus clouds. Now, stratuses are just big old sheets of clouds that will take up the whole sky. If you've ever been to like really rainy areas, a lot of it, like areas that rain like just all the time, a lot of the times what you have are just nimbostratus clouds, which is just a stratus cloud, but it happens to be a rainy stratus cloud. Um, and they just like stay over there, giving like either a light to a moderate rain, but nothing to the level of like an actual thunderstorm, which is what a cumulonimbus is. Um, and stratuses, low key, they're like one of my favorite clouds because they're just like cozy, comfortable, big old sheets. They're just awesome. They're sick. And then the other type that I wrote out on MS Paint is a cirrus, right? So a cirrus only appears way up in the sky, and that's because they're made of ice crystals. And those are super wispy, thin clouds, and they tend to generally mean that a change of weather is coming. But to be honest, I don't really know what the clouds mean. I more just know their types. And I'm probably not really going to be talking about what they mean because I'm just the wrong person to ask. So yeah, we have cumulus, stratus, and cirrus. Those are the three main types. And then, of course, stratocumulus is over here, but we'll worry about it later. So with stratus and cumulus, there are... Okay, the lights just turned off. That's not good, but whatever. We roll with it. So stratus and cumulus are... they have two different variations depending on height. Two different like main variations. You have altostratuses, which is when something is from 2 kilometers to 6 kilometers. I learned it is 7 kilometers, but I guess it doesn't really matter much. And altostratuses tend to give the prettiest types of clouds. There's a bunch of different like ranges in here that I'm not going to talk about because I just don't think I have time. I got class in like 30 minutes, and I tend to talk a lot. But my favorite, in particular, from the altostratuses is the altostratus mammatus. And that just looks like big old pouches in the sky. They're just big old balls. It's awesome. It looks beautiful. And I've seen it maybe like twice, and only gotten a really good picture once. It's nice. And then altocumulus, it's also 2 to 6 kilometers up, and they look a lot smaller and look a lot clumped together, but that's just because they're high up. They're still, I'm pretty sure that they're still like the same size. It's just because they're higher up, they look smaller, And it's hard to tell if it's an altostratus or an altocumulus because you don't have anything to gauge how high it is. You just have to like guess, and you get used to it after looking at the sky for a while. But then when we move up to the other two types, which is cirrostratus and cirrocumulus, cirro, like, it just means that it's above 6 kilometers. Like, that's... Cirro and alto just are the prefixes for height. But everything up here is basically just made of ice crystals. So you end up getting really thin, wispy type things, even if it's not normally, like, a wispy cloud. Like a cirrocumulus is going to be... One, is going to be a lot smaller, but it's also just going to look more broken up because it's just made of ice. And cirrostratuses are kind of the same. And now there's two other prefixes that are... It's weird because it's a suffix and a prefix at the same time. It's different for both of them. You have a nimbostratus, which just means a rainy stratus cloud. That's what most like rain clouds are. They're just nimbostratuses, and it's just like gives a nice... It's like those sheet like rain clouds. And then you have a cumulonimbus. And a cumulonimbus, well, it has like a bunch of different stages for forming, but we're not going to talk about those here because we're just not. But basically, it starts out really small. Okay, I guess we are talking about them. Whoops. It starts off really small, and then it just grows. It just gets bigger and bigger. And so there is another type. There's an altocumulus cloud that is called an altocumulus castellanus. And those are just really big, grand clouds that'll take up, like, kind of just this whole area. They're huge. They're, like, really massive clouds. And every now and again, I'll mistake them for a cumulonimbus, like a forming cumulonimbus, But the way that you can differentiate them is that a cumulonimbus, if it's like forming, you can see it grow, and it'll look like whipped cream, or not whipped cream. It's not going to look like whipped cream, but it's going to look like, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It looks like, oh yeah, whipped cream. Why did I? Yeah, it looks like whipped cream, like the bottle stuff, and you can just see it grow, and it's just sick. And then once it gets big enough, um, up into it takes up the whole like 6 kilometers. Like they're like crazy tall. Once it gets big enough, it's just like, you know what? Time to unload, and they just start going ham crazy. And sometimes they can grow even bigger and turn into like hurricanes and like small storms. Not hurricanes. Not hurricanes. I don't know why I said that. Don't no. They yeah. Um but yeah, I think in the next cloud video that I do, I'm going to go over the specific types of altocumulus and altostratus clouds. They're all just like Latin words. Uh, some mean wavy, some mean like clumped together, some mean filled with holes. And there's a bunch of different types of cirrus, there's a bunch of different types of altocumulus, a bunch of different types of altostratus, a bunch of different types of cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, stratus, and cumulus. Oh, and I forgot about stratocumulus. I don't know how they form, but they basically have like the bottom part looks like a stratus cloud. It's super flat, and then the top part looks like a cumulus cloud. I'm gonna pull up the most common type of cloud, stratocumulus, strato, whoops, stratiformis. So this is the most common type of cloud coverage, and it looks more like this. Like you'll see a lot of, I don't know why, like this is an altocumulus. Like I don't know why it's showing this. Honestly, if you look up Google images for these, they're just going to lie to you. Like they're actually just going to lie to you because they don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, these are stratocumulus stratiformis. There has to be a better photo. What? That's not. Who uploaded this to Wikipedia? That's a lie. That is not a stratocumulus. This is an asperitas. And that's not a type of stratocumulus either. That's a type of, I'm pretty sure it's a type of altostratus. Don't quote me on that again. Oh my god. Yeah. I should have popped up pictures regardless. But yeah, this is more what, and I know that these just look like clouds. Like you can't really differentiate anything with these. This is like a little better of a differentiation, but it's not. Normally the gaps are bigger. But yeah, that's my video.